I don't know. Maybe she was doing a girly pop thing. I don't know why I'm trying to be charitable to the fucking Nebraska comms director, Nebraska GOP comms director. I mean, if it looks like a dog, walks like a dog, is probably fucking Sig Heiling, you know? Wait, that is the GOP comms director? This lady is a, oh my God, she's literally the Omaha Young Republicans chair, comms director for Nebraska GOP. What? Bro, dude, I saw this. Why is this the new meta for white ladies on Twitter? I've seen like 5 different white women that look exactly the same throwing up the Roman salute on the timeline this past weekend. It's like, I guess this is the new thing now. This is just what's happening. Is that what's going on? Like people are just heiling Hitler casually? What the bro? Okay, I go back and forth on this, but do we bring back cancel culture? Is that what we're supposed to be doing nowadays? Is that what it is? Like, what the is this? I saw this one, and then I saw this one, and now this. What is happening? They saw one Sydney Sweeney ad and went crazy, bro. They saw one American Eagle ad and they were like, oh, the eagle stands for the Nazi eagle. Actually, where's the ADL on this? Bro, don't. They're too busy. They're too busy clip farming so they can find something to get mad about that I did the other day or some shit. You know what I mean? Because I said Israel's apartheid state doing a genocide, the peak of real anti-Semitism. Not this, of course, because I'm sure these ladies are pro-Israel, sufficiently pro-Israel, or at least don't talk about it enough for it to be an important point of contention. I thought it was going to be white boy Sharia summer, and it's turned into like neo-Nazi summer, dude. Is Sig Heil summer. I don't like that. Yeah, ADL met TikTok to do content moderation. I know, they're too busy. They're too busy with this, okay? They're too busy making sure that TikTok no longer has like pro-Palestine content on it. That's what they're predisposed with. It's like the metric ton of Nazi shit. And there is a lot of Nazi shit on TikTok too, for sure. Like, I'm not going to act like there isn't. But like almost all of it initiates from Twitter, okay? Like it's not like the dude from Singapore who owns TikTok is going up and like fucking Sig Heiling on the main stage at Trump's inauguration and actively collaborating with like neo-Nazis on TikTok and responding or reposting neo-Nazi TikToks and being like, you have said the absolute truth, when someone is like, Jews are doing great replacement theories. Like, that's Elon. Elon is the one doing it. What did the Nebraska GOP say? Statement from Nebraska GOP Chairman Mary Jane Trumper. Her name is Trumper, literally Mary Jane Trumper. That sounds like a fucking Hideo Kojima character, dude. This is Mary Jane Trumper. She is Maximum America. What the She loves Trump so much. Her name is literally Mary Jane Trumper. In support of communications director for the Nebraska Republican Party, Haley McAnally. Haley McAnally. The recent smear campaign against Haley McAnally, communications director for the Nebraska Republican Party, is as desperate as it is dishonest. The claim that she was making a Nazi salute in a moment clearly captured without any malicious or symbolic intent is utterly absurd to anyone with eyes and common sense. What is going on? Because it kind of feels like she was throwing it up. Am I crazy? I'm not Mr. Symbolism, right? Like, I usually tell you guys, like, focus on things that actually matter. Like, instead of the rune shape that the podium that like the CPAC conference is like happening on, listen to the words that they're saying, because they're saying Nazi shit, and that's way more impactful than just like trying to figure out the symbolism. Like, is this the 14 words? Are they like Heil Hitlering? But like, this kind of just feels like she's Heil Hitlering. Like, I don't know. Maybe she was doing a girly pop thing. I don't know why I'm trying to be charitable to the fucking Nebraska comms director, Nebraska GOP comms director. I mean, if it looks like a dog, walks like a dog, is probably fucking Sig Heiling, you know? It's just the okay sign shit from Trump 1, but even less plausible deniability. Yeah, but it's not the okay shit, because this is a sign. The entire purpose of the okay sign is that people throw this up without ill intent from time to time. This has different uses. Sig Heiling has one use. You're a Nazi. You know what I mean? So I get what you're trying to say, that this is just like they're trying to throw the okay sign. Like, they're trying to use the Sig Heil in the same way as the okay sign, but like, this is just the salute. This is there is no other use case for this. No one just like, unless you're, I guess, like hailing a cab, there is very little. There's not really another moment in time when you're just kind of putting that hand up like that. The reason why this is like, this came as a sequence of events this weekend. First, it was this lady that looks like Eve Fartlow. This is like this is the Nazi version of Eve Fartlow, not the pro-Israel Nazi version of Eve Fartlow that is just Eve Fartlow, but this is the anti-Semitic Nazi anti-Israel, I guess. I don't know actually if this person's anti-Israel or not, but like this is just Eve Fartlow. She looks exactly like Eve Fartlow. It's crazy. And it was crazy because like she said like all the pretty girls, and what's really funny about it is that when white girls do this shit, I sometimes will see their responses, and like most of the online neo-Nazi movement just overwhelmingly hate women, right? They just fucking hate women so much. So like all the replies were shitting on her. They were like, huh, of course a woman would use the wrong hand. And I think she was actually not doing the left arm. She was doing the right arm, but she used the front-facing camera. Like they were dunking on her. They were literally dunking on, they were shitting on her. They're like, where are your children? Why don't you have children already? Stop posting photos. You know, go save the white race. You're so ugly. Like all this stuff. And obviously, misogyny is a no-no. Okay, we don't participate in that. We don't partake in that. But like, it's a bit of a situation where you're just like, let them fight. You know what I mean? Let them fight amongst themselves. If you're gonna, I'm not gonna defend her. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, hey, prominent neo-Nazis on the internet, don't tell this neo-Nazi woman that she ain't shit because she's a woman. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to watch from the sidelines. You know, it's like Lauren Southern writing articles about how like the alt-right movement was so mean to her. Oh, wow. Shocking. Yeah. Inside trade, right-wing misogyny is A-okay. I mean, misogyny is never okay. But if the Nazis are doing misogyny to other Nazis that happen to be women, I'm not going to fucking be like, you know. It's kind of like when you got, you know, like Indian fascists on the timeline, and like all of the other fucking Nazis will then like yell at the Indian guy because he's brown. You know, it's unacceptable, but it's not my battle. You know what I mean? Under different circumstances, I'm there with you. This is the one instance where I'm just like, okay, well, you kind of made your bed, didn't you? You know, you made your bed. It's funny though, because like she didn't private her account because like people were yelling at her for sig heiling. She privated her account, I think, because she was getting dunked on by other Nazis. This is PvP and they ain't on our team. Yeah, like I'll third party this. You know what I mean? I'll just like push some buttons. I'll third party both sides. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not touching it. Like you just sit back. Sometimes not everything needs a reaction. Okay. Sometimes you just sit back and enjoy the show. This is one of those moments. No, the enemy of my enemy is not my friend. The enemy of my enemy is still my enemy in this instance. But they can fight amongst themselves all day, every day, and I'll just fucking, you know, I'm not gonna step in, okay? It's so dude. It is so it's crazy that we just never talk about Twitter. All of this back and forth discourse on like TikTok is so anti-Semitic. This platform is anti-Semitic. That platform, like, it's Twitter, man. It's Twitter. That's where it's coming from. All of the metric ton of evil is coming directly from Twitter. The fact that people don't realize that Elon's original actual truth comment is what prompted him to go on an anti-Semitism apology tour to Auschwitz and then Israel with Ben Shapiro is fucking insane to me. People point to those trips as evidence he's not anti-Semitic when the reason he did it was because he was anti-Semitic. Yeah, it's like when Marjorie Taylor Greene had to go to like a Holocaust museum and write a book report about how the Holocaust happened after she said Jews have space lasers. Like, you just, that's ADL shit. Like, that's what they used to do. You know what I mean? Back in the day, they'd be like, you've said something insanely anti-Semitic. Now you have to write a book report. Okay. Now they've just kind of given up on that. They just literally will be like, oh, well, you said something insanely anti-Semitic. Now you have to defend Israel extra hard. And then this lady came out and also was doing it. Like this lady saw the other lady do the salute and was like, oh, it's me time. It's time for me. Remember when the owner of this site said Nazis would have the freedom of speech and not freedom of reach, and then blasted a Nazi salute on national television, and content like this goes viral regularly? Like, this has 20K likes, man. Bro, back in the day, white ladies that did not have like any sort of decipherable, discernible, interesting personality quirks would just be like a regular run-of-the-mill Republican. Now they just hit the Sig Heil. What is going on? You used to lose your job because of this? Yeah, it's over. It's fucking crazy. Yeah. And for those of you saying, like, isn't she making fun of the other girl? No. Her username has juice, which is a substitute for Jews, and extinguisher, like Jews extinguisher. I don't think this person is like memeing about another Nazi. I think this person is a Nazi. Okay? Yeah, the juice box thing is like a common way for it's like TikTok speak. But yeah, this is the best take I've seen on this. Rat Limit said in February 21st, Rat Limit said, prediction, the Nazi salute will become common within 2 years. Right-wingers will half-ass it for plausible deniability, memify the backlash, and then start fully doing it as a joke to troll the libs for being hysterical enough to think we were doing it in the first place. Fascism is a little bitch ideology because it's too timid to enact its cruelty until it can frame its cruelty as retaliation against others anticipating it. Everyone, please stop saying more like 6 months, as 6 months is indeed within 2 years. Which, by the way, the people that were saying as in 6 months were literally right, low key. And so was Rat Limit, to be fair, because here we are. Like, here's the thing, okay? It's not good that people think that people think that this is like something that you can just do without any repercussions whatsoever. That's number one. Okay. Number two, it's extra not good that these people then literally go to like websites to fucking farm donos. Like, they straight up will go to like Give Send Go and then farm, like, it's like that lady that said the N-word to that black child at the fucking playground and then like got $1 million for doing that, almost. And that blows my mind. Or that fucking the I'm a fascist guy from Jubilee who went and like farmed an insane amount of money again. And I don't know where this goes, you know what I mean? I have an idea of where this is going, but this shit ain't a meme, you know? It's not. It's just it's not like, oh, I trolled you, I own the libs. This person was invited to the White House. Yeah, I mean, exactly. There's also this, like the libs of TikTok being like, did you know the average IQ in Somalia is 68? Dude, Chaya Reichik, you are an Orthodox Jewish woman. Why are you doing race IQ conspiracies? What the fuck is going on? Like, the people that did that historically did the Holocaust. What are you? Yeah, World War II is just a meme. Yeah, it's just like, what is going on, man? Yeah, this is Omar Fateh, who's running for mayor. Same thing could be argued for Laura Loomer. America's always had shrieking, hate-filled chuds like Laura Loomer, but there was a period in the past when they weren't allowed to hang out with the president at the White House. Yeah, witnesses said the shooter screamed "Free Palestine." Now the media is running to cover up another act of Islamic terrorism by the Free Palestine crowd. This was like the CTE shooter guy in New York City, where a bunch of right-wing freaks immediately jumped to claim that, like, the very same people that used to say, oh, the shooter is trans, is now back to their old habits, post 9/11 war on terror habits of just screaming that it's like an Islamic style terrorist every time. Okay. Immediately. They just, like, another mass shooting happens, even though it's like literally a fucking multiple times a week situation in the United States of America, the only country where this happens so frequently. And they go, oh, it must be a Muslim. It's a Muslim. It's a Muslim. It's a Muslim. They're doing Muslim style Islamic terrorism. Great stuff, man. We are so fucking cooked. Yeah. Charlie Kirk posting great replacement theory shit. Muhammad is the #1 boys' name in the UK for the second straight year, and for every year going forward, it's not going to be close. The Great Replacement is not a conspiracy theory, it's government policy. Bring back cancel culture and exiling people from normal public life. I mean, cancel culture sucks, okay? It's heavy-handed, it sucks, and everybody hates it. But I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's even that might be better than whatever the fuck is going on now, you know, with no, like, we need to have shame. We need to at least have like shame and social stigma. We need education. And as far as like social pressure goes, like, it's important for people to speak out and create an environment that tries to claw back the social permission away from out and about neo-Nazis and just like freaks of different varieties. Cause like, it's not even just Nazis and fascists. There's also like a permission structure developing for pedophiles. You know what I mean? It's like every bad thing that you can do, including the worst things that you can do, right? Like people wear that shit as a marker of pride nowadays. They vice signal. They vice signal and they get clout off of it. I don't know what to do anymore. Like how do you create an environment online where people have anonymity, right? And people can like say really ruthless and really mean things to one another. How do you change that environment a little bit? Because like, this doesn't happen in the real world, right? Like this kind of behavior only happens behind closed doors at like a Nazi dive bar or something. It doesn't happen in the real world that often. And when it does happen in the real world, like when Elon threw up the Sig Heil, that was his falling point. Like many Americans looked at that and were like, I'm writing this motherfucker off. It's over. There is no such like real back and forth when the person doing it is doing it online. Like you don't see them. You don't see them in person. There is no like immediate reaction from normal people around them. Cause like that is a profoundly important part of like interpersonal communication. Okay. That is the reason why the stuff that you say online behind the internet, behind a keyboard is very different than what you would say in person. And I don't know how you like make the online rage bait vice signaling culture resemble the real world in some ways, where there has to be like some kind of social stigma or repercussions. I don't have that much of a filter. Yeah, you're throwing up the Sig Heil in public. No, you're not doing that. You get your fucking ass beat. You're saying slurs in public. I don't think so. Like the only thing I will say is that in the real world, like the one thing I will say is that like in the real world is like the R word, right? People don't give a shit about that, but people do give a shit about it online, at least in like in some communities. That's it. With that exception, every other type of slur that you would say in public would immediately cause people to snap at you. Yeah, the R word's super common in you know, the meat space, but outside of that, any other kind of like Nazi imagery or any other kind of like genuine fucking slur, your F slur, the N word, anything like that is going to cause people around you to immediately react and be like, what the whoa, dude, chill, that's gross. I mean, this is just a fucking sad state of affairs now, man. It's a real sad state of affairs. My coworker Nazi saluted twice at me at work after finding out I was a socialist. He got fired pretty much instantly. Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean. You can't do that. You cannot do that shit. In the real world, you cannot do that shit. Would you be able to say this in your place of business? No. Would you be able to say this in public? No. There are immediate repercussions for stuff like that. And I'm not so certain that that's a bad thing. You know what I mean? If we can't do like repercussions for this, like what can we do repercussions for? You know? Yeah, the bus driver test. You fucking Sig Heil next to the bus driver's beating your ass, dude. It's crazy.